Hey everyone, welcome back at Stepping Forward. Today I wanted to share with you a part of my own meditation. When I seek the Lord and try to meditate as a believer, a Christian, I try to do this in the morning. I have found that if I don't do it in the morning, I really get distracted and I can't meditate as well. I can't focus as well on the Lord because there's so many thoughts in my mind that it just distracts me of my personal relationship with God, with my thoughts towards God. So personally, I've seen that morning meditation time is the best. Now, I want to share with you what meditation looked like for me today as of June 24th, 2026. So I wanted to share with you what it looks like. It's different really anytime because no personal relationship is the same every single day, right? If you have a friend, a family member, your communication is never completely the same. So I want you to keep that in mind, that this relationship that you're working on with the Lord is also not the same every single day. So I'm just sitting comfortable on the couch, thinking about anything that really comes in my mind, but thinking in a way that glorifies the Lord, right? So scripture says, meditate on anything that is good. I will put the reference below that can help you as well to meditate on those thoughts. Meditation on scripture in general is really good. But I was just allowing my thoughts to come as they come, and one thought came in is, what would the world look like if it was perfect? So a couple of things came to my mind as I was thinking about this, and I wrote them down. So that's another tip I wanted to give you, is write things down in a journal. I've had shown this journal for a long time. Obviously it keeps records. So back in the day, like 10 years ago, I would go through a journal this thick in a couple of months. Now, as life goes by, I don't write every single day in my journal. I may write in it twice a week, once a week, 4 times a week. It kind of depends. But this is my record of growth with the Lord. What has God been teaching me? And that's something I write down. Or what is something I felt compelled to search the Lord for? I write that down. And then later on, I can go back and see how the Lord's been working in my life and really see a record of progress and growth and seasons of what the Lord's been doing in me and through me. And it has shown various seasons. And at this point, I'm a season of closure. And so a new season is going to start very, very soon. So if you have a hard time tracking or remembering what the Lord has done in your life, I recommend just purchasing like a little journal, or if you have a notebook, like a Kindle or Apple a tablet or anything like that, you can write and keep a track out there, but definitely devote that piece of equipment or notebook to the Lord only, so you know you can find it back later down the road. So as I was contemplating on the thought, how to make Earth a better place, I was thinking, I need to become more like Jesus. Because if I read scripture and I think about the time that Jesus lived on earth, everyone, like, I am not joking, if you read the Bible for yourself, you will see that crowds were following Jesus. They were looking for him everywhere. If he would go by boat, they will walk for days to find him at that place, to be in his presence, to hear what he was saying, to be touched by him, by his presence, to be healed. Everyone wanted to see Jesus. So earth, like, why does this one person who is Jesus, the living God, human being, but still God, everyone is attracted to, everyone wanted to have him in the midst of their lives? So thinking about this thought, I'm like, how can we become more like Jesus? This is our calling as a Christian. We're to reflect Christ. We're to look like Christ. So what does it look like to become more like Christ? I'm thinking about the topic, love your neighbors. This is a topic that Jesus has been teaching for a lot of times throughout Scripture. It is love your God, and love yourself as your neighbor. Are we loving our neighbors nowadays? Really, I'm thinking about a perfect place, and I'm thinking perfect earth would be without sin. Sin really makes this world corrupt. So I'm thinking, if we remove all the sin, what would earth look like? Or what would society look like? How would the people act? How would they not act? So as I'm meditating on this imaginative picture, just a dream, right? This is heaven. This is probably how heaven is going to look like. Without sin, everyone is going to be nice. Everyone is going to be forgiving. Everyone is going to love each other, have compassion. So I'm writing down, loving your neighbors is acknowledging one another. Nowadays, we tend to ignore people. Like, we prefer not to see them. Like, we have a hard time interacting with people. No, can you say hi to them? Can you acknowledge them by waving or smiling and showing some love and compassion in yourself than just to think you live on earth by yourself? We have become so selfish as a society. And so I'm thinking, to make earth a better place is to start to love our neighbors, to start to acknowledging them, to start to care for them, to do things selflessly like Jesus teaches us. He says, place other people's need above your own. So remember the time of COVID when toilet paper was never to be found? Nowhere to be found. And you would be fighting for that last package of toilet paper. Okay, let's put this biblical teaching in perspective. What would Jesus tell us to do? Love others above your own needs. Maybe, just maybe, instead of fighting and becoming selfishly for this piece of like toilet paper, maybe we would say, here you go, you should have it. It's okay, I'll find a different alternative. Maybe we can put someone else's need above ourselves, and that's how we can show Christ. That's just a radical idea that I'm throwing out there, but I really want you to start reflecting upon your own self, because I think we can make earth a better place when we start with ourselves. If everyone starts with themselves to love one another and serve one another and place other people's needs above their own, imagine the incredible change in this world. We've become so selfish that we cannot even imagine what it looks like to love one another. And I think as Christians, it's an important topic for us to start practicing. So I would love for you to share, what is something that you feel compelled as of now to change in your life? How do you think you can start to love other people in your neighborhood, in your society, better than yourself? For a great biblical teaching, I recommend reading Luke chapter 10. It's kind of like the last half bit where there is the parable and the teaching of Jesus that is about the Good Samaritan. And here Jesus is teaching what really a good neighbor looks like, a loving neighbor looks like. So just study that passage yourself and see what you get out of that as well. I think this is a great start for us to make a change as Christians. It starts with ourselves. So let me know what you're going to do. Like and subscribe this video if you want to hear more, if you want to stay updated on the next videos in your personal growth as you take a step forward in your faith. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you next time.